Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to our beautiful stream here tonight. I want to welcome you, James, your host here, of course, on this beautiful Jackery channel. Now, guys, we're going to be showing you a bunch of amazing products at a great price point, guys. And, of course, can't forget to mention that 5% discount code down there in that banner. That code can be used for anything over $1,000 purchase, guys, for you tonight, of course, with that. Now, you can use that 5% discount code on anything over $1,000 in your carousel of Jackery products. But also make sure that you guys are looking on the Amazon pages when you're adding those products to your cart. You may find clippable coupons on the Amazon pages as well to save you a few more dollars. Now, with that, I want to welcome you all here. I also want to say, hey guys, hope you guys are having a great evening thus far. It's definitely been one of those days for me, and I'm here, of course, with my hat on and my shirt saying, hey, let's get this done. Now, guys, like always, we always start off with like our cabling and showing you guys the cable packages that come with these power stations. And it's always a good start to talk about that because most of these stations that you see here on the table behind me will come with a pack like this. And it does, of course, have their Jackery logo. Has a little handle so you guys can carry it around. Also has a zipper to zip it up like that to keep it nice and tidy. Inside here, you'll be greeted with a few different styling of cables. Either you're going to get a wall plug like this, or you might get an old school laptop style plug as well, now depending on the station you have. Most of the newer ones are going to have this new cabling. You'll also have an option of a cabling like this, and this is, of course, a DC to cigarette lighter adapter. This is going to allow you to charge those power stations in your cigarette lighter, in your car, your RV, your toy hauler, or even your RZ, your razors, your side-by-sides if they have those plugs. That means you guys can have the charge on the go. Now, also, depending on the variation, you may get a solar panel cable. You may get, of course, a solar panel adapter in these kits as well. So do make sure what you check out and make sure your box has your cabling for you. Now, with that, of course, guys, you have multitude of different ways of connecting up your solar panels, whether it be a 7909 DC plug or an 8020 DC plug. You might also get an option of course, this Anderson style plug as well. Now, the Anderson style plug is going to be good for like the 100 prime panel, or of course the 1000 power station, which we'll show you guys when we get there. Now we're going to start this off with their smallest but mightiest little station. Now this little station does come in two different colorways. If you're getting it on here on Amazon, it comes in a black and orange colorway. Now there is another colorway, a dune color. It's almost like a sand color, but that is for another site altogether. So it's kind of cool. Kind of hoping to get my hands on one to show you guys the colorway because it's a really cool colorway. This is the 100 plus power station. Now, this little mini power station is 99 watt hours of power, 31,000 milliamps. It is a LiFePO 4 cell. That LiFePO 4 cell is going to give you a nice long battery life or lifespan of the device. Now, not only does it have LiFePO 4 cells, it also has 6 forms of protection, and it is TSA approved. Now, the TSA approving of this little device is kind of cool. The TSA approving means you guys can take it on an airplane, take it on a train, take it on a bus, or even in your car. It's approved for pretty much any standard transportation. Now, the 100 Plus, of course, is going to come with this nice little cabling. USB-C to USB-C cable. This cable is capable of 100 watts pass through both directions. It also has the DC plug on it as well, and this is going to be that 7090 adapter to USB-C. Really cool adapter. Now, dual USB-C ports on this, 100 watts in and out, capable of those ports. Also has a USB-A port, and of course, that beautiful little 18 watts. That means you guys can hook up your Android devices, your MacBooks, whatever you want between the multiple ports. Now, 99 watt hours of power, 31,000 milliamps, or 128 watts, means at a full charge in under 2 hours on a wall plug, you can run a Nintendo Switch for over 4.5 hours by itself. You could charge your iPhone 14 6 times. Now, you have multiple options with this and usability with it, which is great. It has a nice, beautiful little screen. This device is actually capable and it will accept the 100 watt panel. So you could definitely connect up their large 100-watt solar panel to this and do that with this. Now, an even better part is this is actually 2 pounds of weight. That's right. You heard me. 2 pounds of weight. I think it's like 2.1 or 2.3 pounds, which is very, very lightweight. This thing is so lightweight, it is definitely portable. It is 13%. Actually, it's 40% off tonight. It's like $89.99, I think it is. Let me check that real quick. Yeah, $89.99 for this. So it's 40% off with this for this device right here. Now, I'm actually seeing multitude of pricing, which I do apologize for that. I'm gonna actually have. I want to make sure I'm seeing that right. I believe I am seeing that correctly. Okay, so that is the station by itself. Now we also have an option and a variation of this device for you guys with the Mini 40 solar panel. This is the Mini 40 solar panel. This would be a cool little combination to take hiking, camping, or just quick emergencies all the way around. The Mini 40 solar panel is a really amazing little piece because it is fully waterproof, water resistant, harsh and wet weather. It is the size of a notebook, 12 inches high, 10 inches wide, half-inch thick, magnetic clasp, of course, with their logo. You pop it open, you're going to be greeted with, of course, the monocrystalline solar cell. And you're probably thinking, what? That's it? Just two little panels? No, guys. It is a quad panel. That's right. This has got 4 panels. These 4 panels are going to pull about 40 watts of power at 18 volts, if I can remember correctly off the top of my head today. But it has all the capability. And when you're done, guys, fold it back up. There's a couple little clips right here that'll clasp it shut. And then, of course, magnetically latch it over that and put it back in your backpack, take it on the go. This is a really cool piece. Now, this kit right here is, I think, $229 for the full kit with the solar panel. So if you're looking for something like that, the 100 Plus and Mini 40, great little option for you. Now, I'm going to set that down, and I'm going to set this behind me. Now, we're going to move into, of course, the 240. Now, this is the original 240-watt power station. Now, this is the Jackery Explorer 240. This is actually an under 7-pound package. This is a little over 6 pounds of weight. Now, with this, of course, it has a fixed handle. The handle will allow you to carry it around with ease. It has their beautiful bright logo, and of course has their AC outlet. Now, that AC outlet's going to allow you to do 200 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at 400. With 200 watts, you're going to be able to connect up like a CPAP machine, a desk light, a house fan, even your Wi-Fi router if you really wanted to. 240 watt hours of power means you'd be able to run, let's say, like a Nintendo Switch for over 32 hours by itself. Or multiple DSLR batteries, or like 4 or 5 drone batteries, depending on which ones you have. Now, it's going to take you about 3.5 hours to fully charge this on a wall plug. It is going to, of course, take that round DC port to connect up into that. You do have dual USB-A ports, 5 volt, 2.4 amps, but you also have a 12 volt, 10 amp cigarette lighter plug. Now, that cigarette lighter plug means, you guys, if you have a cigarette lighter adapter for like the dual USB-C ports, plug it in there and you have that on hand. Now, this is actually a good price point. It's like $183. It's 24% off today, which is a great price point. The DSLR batteries, like your Sony ZV-E10s, your 8.4 volts or 1800 milliamp batteries, you should get about 15 to 16 charges off of that with this, depending on the battery. Now, we're going to vary and we're going to range about this. Class 9 drop protection and fire retardant shell. I can contest to the drop protection. Let me actually show you guys if I can actually get you to see this. See that little white marking? That is because I actually dropped this unit. I dropped this product about 9 feet high off a shelf where I keep them. It dropped, it fell, it hit the ground, it works perfectly fine. Now, what I'm going to tell you though is, do not drop these guys. Yes, technically you can bump them around and all that. Don't drop them. They're they're lithium cells, guys. They're batteries. You don't want to jar the electronics up. You don't want to jar up the batteries. But sometimes stuff like that happens, and that one actually happened on here, but we were good to go. So Really cool little piece, great little option with this on hand. So it's actually really amazing with this, of course. I'm checking to see, for some reason it looks like I have a frame drop, and if I have a frame drop, I do apologize to everybody. I'm not sure what's going on. My internet's fine, so 240, great little piece, great option, nice price point, and good weight about it. What did I see over here? Truck batteries. Yeah, you probably could. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Miss Danny, good evening. Long time no see, Miss Danny. How are you doing? Now we're going to talk about the original the 240 V2. All right, we're going to go into the 240 V2. Uh, we're going to pop it up. We're going to show you guys this. We have the 240 V2 in the carousel, two different variations. We have the system by itself for like 249, I think it is. But we also have the system and, of course, the solar panel. System by itself is $249, but there's a $70 clippable coupon. Now, we also have the system and the Mini 40 solar panel at like $349, but there is a $100 clippable coupon. You're going to get it for the price of the original solar station by itself. Now, the 240 V2, version 2, this is their upgraded styling to this. You're going to have 256 watt hours of power. It's going to move from the DC plug to, of course, that nice little house plug for you. It's also going to have larger cooling, and it's going to have, of course, the new shelling with the handle on hand. Now you do have the AC outlet right there. The AC outlet, guys, is going to do 300 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at 600 for those of you that need it. You do have dual USB-C ports. One USB-C port is 100 watt in and out. The other is a USB-C port at 15 watts output only. You also have the 15 watts of USB-A port and, of course, the 12 volt 10 amp plug. Now, with the 240, guys, you're going to have that flashlight over here. Flashlight's going to do multiple modes and SOS patterns for you on the 240 V2. Now, with this, it's got what's called Charge Shield 2.0. Now, Charge Shield 2.0 on the 240 V2 is going to allow you to charge this in 1 hour charge time on a wall plug. It has been, and it's glad to see you back. Now, like I said, 1 hour charge rate with this, of course, is a great little charging time. Runtime is actually going to be cool because you guys can run, let's say, a Bluetooth speaker for about 16 hours for a 10 watt Bluetooth speaker. But the kit does come with, of course, that Mini 40 solar panel. Now, not only does it have that solar panel and that charge rate, because you have that 1 hour charge time on a wall plug if you guys need, you guys could do it with, of course, the Mini 40. Now, the Mini 40 is going to take you a little bit longer, approximately like 7 hours of runtime, I think it is, with that to charge this. Not a long time, but a great time with this, of course, on hand. Now, you can also do the charging capability, guys, through, of course, that USB-C port. It's going to take about 2 hours for that, of course, on hand. This is still under 8 pounds. It's 7.9 pounds. Very, very lightweight, very beautiful. Now, with the 240 V2, you also have the option of running this with the app. The app means you guys can pair it up to your phone. You guys can actually do everything you want with that. You can turn on the switches, turn off the switches. You can read the screen and everything with that. 240 V2, great little option right there. Now, before we move on to the next thing, I need to check one thing real quick. I'm actually seeing some spikes in my stream software. I'm hoping it's nothing serious. I just want to make sure that my internet's not about to drop because I had internet issues the other year. So we're going to check that real quick. We're going to be good. Now we're going to move over to the, of course, original 300 up next. Now, I believe we already have the 300 clocked on, and we do, of course, with that. So we should be good. Now, the original 300 is 293 watt hours of power, guys, and a great price point for you. Now, with that, of course, we're going to do everything we need, and I'm seeing actually. All right. Anybody watching on Amazon, do you see my screen stuttering or having issues? I'm just wanting to know if I'm actually having the issues or if it's my stream link. 293 watt hours of power. It's going to actually have two AC outlets. Those two AC outlets are going to do, of course, 300 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at 600 for you. Now, with this, you do have two USB-A ports and a USB-C port. That USB... All right. So, it's not just... Okay, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. So it looks like it's definitely freezing. Okay. Let me check with my this is not what I want. It should not be streaming. It shouldn't have these issues. Like my internet seems fine. I'm not sure what's going on. So I do apologize, guys, with this on hand. I'm not sure what's going on. I believe Lois is a little ahead of me on the actual thing because we're showing the 300. Uh, but having technical issues, I do apologize. Yeah, it's definitely showing frame drops, and it shouldn't be showing frame drops. I do apologize for that. So, like I said, we were talking about the 300, 256, actually 293 watt hours of power with this, guys, with the 300, of course, on hand. The Jackery Explorer 300 is actually a really amazing little power station that's going to do well for you. 3.5 hour charge time with that. I got the EV100 right on, or the 1000. Awesome, Fred. You'll love that unit. It is an amazing piece. Now, like I said, 3.5 hours on a charge rate on a wall plug, 2 hours if you use the USB-C and the wall port together. You're going to be able to run your Nintendo Switch for about 40 hours off this, or of course your mini cooler for about 3 hours as well. CPAP machines can be ran off of it. You're going to get about 6 to 7 drone batteries off the 300 and multiple DSLR batteries. Yes, I see that it is definitely freezing. I do apologize, Fred. I'm not sure what's going on. It looks like it's in the streaming software itself because it looks like I'm having issues with the Amazon app itself. So I do apologize for that. I'm not really sure what's going on. I checked my internet stuff and it seems fine. It's definitely finicky. Now, mini cooler, guys. Your mini cooler would be about 4.5 hours. Your laptop, about 4 hours of runtime. Your 65-inch flat screen TV, about 4.5 hours as well. So you're going to be able to do a lot off of the 300 without an issue if you guys need, of course. Now we're going to move over to, I believe, the 500 power station. We have it in here twice. We're going to skip the first one because it looks like the first one sold out. So we're going to show you guys the second variation of it with, of course, the solar panel. Now, I'm going to actually jump over here. We're going to come over to the table. We're going to bounce down. We're going to zoom on in because that is the 500 right there in the middle. Now, that is the Jackery Explorer 500. The Jackery Explorer 500 is a kit that we're showing you guys tonight. Now, this kit does come with, of course, the 100-watt Solar Saga solar panel. It also has a $250 clippable coupon on Amazon for you with this package deal. Now, with that being said, it is 518 watt hours of power in this device. This device does have one AC outlet. That one AC outlet will do 500 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at 1,000 if you need. Now, you also have 3 USB-A ports and 3 DC plugs that are output. You also have 1 DC plug input, which is what you're going to use to, of course, charge this. Now, this is going to take about 5.5 hours to fully charge this on a wall plug for you. Now, on the side, it does have, of course, a flashlight, single mode, and, of course, SOS pattern if we really want to, with it on hand. Now, with this, it weighs about 13 pounds of weight. It does have a screen. The screen does work and looks beautiful. Now, 5.5 hours on a wall plug, 5.5 hours on a cigarette car lighter in your car. It's going to take about 7.5 hours with the 100-watt solar panel, but it will do a lot more because you do have about 518 watt hours of power. It means you guys can run a flat screen TV for about 7 hours. Your mini cooler about 9 hours. Your laptop over, I'm not going to go there with your laptop. Laptops are always a finicky, or one of the ones that depends on what type of laptop you have. So with that, you guys can check. Electric blanket, about 4 hours. Blenders, 50. Electric air pumps. Maybe you guys like to go camping, tubing, and stuff like that. You get about 8 hours off one of those pumps with this. Now, the system by itself, of course, great piece, but always get it with the solar panel. The Solar Saga 100 panel is a beautiful panel that's going to do you guys very, very well with this system. Now remember, $799 price tag, but there's a $250 clippable coupon for the station of itself. Now, I guess it looks like the The station itself popped up, and it looks like it's about 300 something dollars. But I do apologize, guys. It's the price tag's bouncing back in and out for me. So, James, hello. How are you doing? So both great variations. One with the station by itself. One with, of course, the solar panel. It is an amazing little piece for you. Now we can talk about the E1000. That's right, the 1000. Now we're going to actually move screens. We're going to go way up there. We're going to attempt to zoom over and zoom on in for this device on top. Let's try to bring you guys in a little closer. Now that is, of course, the Jackery Explorer 1000. It's 1,002 watt hours of power. Does have 3 AC outlets. Now those are your standard 3-prong American plugs that you can plug in your lamps, your lights, your TVs, and everything else with this. I'm loving the cooler weather. I would say I'm loving it too, but it hasn't hit me yet. Now, 1,002 watt hours of power, 3 AC outlets. It's going to do 1,000 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at 2,000. Now, with it, you do have multiple USB-A ports and multiple USB-C ports. So you do have 2 and 2 of each. You also have that DC 12-volt 10-amp plug right there and a flashlight on the side. Now, we were talking about the Anderson clips, and this is, of course, that Anderson clip plug. Now, this plug will actually fit into the front of that. And that is where you're going to add, of course, 2 solar panels to clip in to this device. Now, by itself, 5 hours it's going to take to fully charge it on a wall plug. If you guys are using a car outlet, about 11 and a half hours for that as well. Now, multiple solar panels, of course, if you have, I think it's like 2 of the Solar Saga 100 panels, about 6 hours fully charged on a wall plug. Now, because you do have 1,002 watt hours of power, you can definitely run a CPAP machine for multiple days. You guys could run a AC for about an hour, maybe, depending on the AC. Flat screen TV, a little over 9 hours. Your mini cooler, about 13 hours, or that flashlight on the side for about 65 hours. Flashlight on the side is literally a 3 to 5 watt light bulb. That's why you're going to get such a long runtime. Electric blanket, if you guys are cold, it's winter, plug it in. About 11 hours of runtime with that, of course, on hand. It's an amazing piece with that. Now, I do apologize. It looks like we're having frame drops yet again, and I'm not sure why. Everything's perfect on my side. It's just the streaming software. So, I do apologize for that. Now, with that, of course, that is the Jackery Explorer 1000. Now, we do have the 1000 V2 as well. We're going to bounce down to the bottom of the table. We're going to move some stuff around. I'm going to pull the 500 off. We're going to move the 300 Pro down here. You know what? I'll bring it over to me. We're going to show that in a little bit. The 1000's on the table. Now, this is the 1000 V2. Now, the 1000 V2 is a really cool little power station that's going to do really amazing things. They said, hey, why not? Let's reinvent the wheel and let's recreate the 1000 V2. Now, the 1000 V2 means version 2. It is 1,070 watt hours of power, but moved to a LiFePO4 cell. Now, this does have what's called Charge Shield 2.0, and with Charge Shield 2.0, you're going to get a 1-hour charge rate with this device. Now, with that, of course, you have a 1,500 watt AC outlet plug, and you got actually 3 of those. Those 3 AC outlets can do 1,500 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at, of course, 3,000. Now, with it, of course, if I move on over a little farther, we can actually zoom in a little bit more, and you guys are going to see the dual USB-C ports. Now, the one USB-C port is actually a 100-watt port that's in and out. The other is a 30-watt port above it. Now, below that 100-watt port, you also have a 15-watt USB-A port as well. Now, you do have a 12-volt 10-amp cigarette lighter plug. You also have that beautiful screen. This whole device can actually work on, of course, the app. The app is iOS and Android based, so you actually have that as well for you without a problem. Now, of course, we're going to get into a little bit more with this and actually going to talk about more things with this. $250 clippable coupon for the device by itself. So $799 price tag, $250 off, brings it down to a very comfortable and reachable price point. Now, with that 1 hour charge time, guys, you can actually put it what's called quiet mode. It'll take about 5 hours to charge. You can use the USB-C port and take about under 2 hours to charge it as well. Now, we don't just have, of course, the 1000 V2 by itself, but we also have, of course, the package deal. Now, the package deal is actually the 1000 V2 and their Solar Saga 200 watt panel. Now, this kit's like $1,300 normally. There's a $400 clippable coupon that's going to bring it down to a nice price point. The cool part about this station is it actually allows you to plug in that 200 watt panel with, of course, the 8020 plug. Now, the 8020 plug means you guys can actually plug in 2 of these solar panels into the station. It's going to take about 3 hours to charge it outside with, of course, that bifacial 200 watt Solar Saga. Beautiful. And the price point's definitely where it's at. $1,299 normally, $400 clippable coupon. Save yourself a few bucks. You can't go wrong with that. You really, really can't. So any questions about those, definitely ask. We are here to answer for you. So any questions, guys? One sec. I'm actually checking some things, making sure what it says over here because it looks like I'm having some frame drops on certain sections, and I don't like the frame drops, guys. All right. If you have no questions about the 1000 V2, we can actually move over to, of course, the 3000. Now, we have the 3000 Pro, which is what we're going to talk about next. The 3000 Pro system is an amazing, amazing power station. Now, when we do this, we're going to talk about it right there. And I'm having app controls. One second. All right. Apologize, everybody. I'm checking on something real quick. Now, we're going to talk about that big station down there. Now, that station right there is the 3000 Pro. Now, this is, of course, a full kit that we are showing you guys tonight. This kit's normally a $4,000 price tag. It's actually $36.99. Now, that's an 8% savings automatically right there on top of it. Now, with that, there's actually a $900 clippable coupon on Amazon as well. So you can take another $900 right off of the top of that before you even get to using that 5% code that we have down in the bottom. Now, with this, you're going to get the power station and 2 of their 200 watt Solar Saga solar panels. Now, with this, of course, it's actually a really cool thing. 324 watt hours of power. It's got 5 AC outlets. Those 5 AC outlets are going to do 3,000 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at 6,000. Now, with this, of course, you're going to have multiple USB-C ports. You have 2 of those. Those 2 USB-C ports are 100 watts in and out, or 100 watts charging capable with it. You also have 2 USB-A ports at 18 watts as well. Now, this station does weigh 64 pounds by itself. It is a heavy station. Now, with that being said, if I pop over here, you guys can see it looks like a suitcase. Now, they do have 2 large 3-inch wheels. Those 3-inch wheels are going to allow you to roll it around on pretty much most surfaces without an issue. Then you have, of course, that telescopic aluminum handle, which is also having a very beautiful piece. They put it in there. It will actually fold up inside itself. It's going to allow you to tip it and roll it around. Now, with it, of course, guys, this is an amazing kit. Beautiful piece. Works really, really well for you. It's going to do beautiful. Now, with it, you have, of course, the solar panels. Now, by itself, on a wall plug, it's going to take about 2.5 hours to charge this device. The 2.5 hours is a quick charge rate, which is decently well for the size of the battery that it carries. Now, with it, of course, guys, you have a 3.5 hour charge rate if you have 6 of those very large solar panels as well, which is kind of cool. Now, once you have it fully charged, you guys can plug a window AC into running this about 3 hours with that. And that's actually kind of cool. I love that 3 hour charge time and run time with that. Now, don't mind me. I'm taking a picture of what's going on with the app so I can send it to, of course, send it on over so we can have it checked out for us because definitely having some issues. Now, like I said, you can run 1150-watt window AC for about 3 hours off of this device with it, and it's actually really amazingly well done. You guys can do a 520-watt refrigerator for about 5 hours as well. Now, 60-watt flat screen TV, about 35 hours of runtime. Does work with, of course, the app since it is over 3,024 watt hours of power. You can actually reach out to your utility company, see if they actually offer the clean energy credit programs, which might be able to unlock about 30% tax credit with that, which is kind of cool. Now, it works with the app just like the rest, about 30 decibels of noise level, and you can actually run, let's say, a microwave, flat screen TVs. You can do even a TIG or a MIG welder at 5,800 watts on that device for over an hour. Now, off the grid living, of course, guys, is going to do well for you. You guys could charge your phone over 100 times with this. Electric grill, about 2.5 hours. Your game console over, multiple times. It's going to do very, very well for that. Now, what else you guys can run off of this? Your weed eaters, your electric water pumps. I got the hiccups all of a sudden. Coffee makers, electric kettles, or of course that flashlight for about 220 hours. A flashlight for 220 hours. Now, I can go here because you could do a CPAP machine for over 250 hours without a problem on this. You guys want to do a movie out back, guys? 21 hours with a movie projector on the 3000. It's an amazing piece that's going to do very, very well at that price point. Now remember, $900 clippable coupon on the site, 5% of course code down in the banner, and saving some money. Saving some money. Any questions about that? So definitely check that out. Now I do apologize, guys. We are definitely seeing some technical issues on our side, so not sure what's going on with those. All right, with that, we're going to move over to the 300 plus. Now I have the 300 plus in my hand right here. This is, of course, 288 watt hours of power in a beautiful little package. Now the 300 plus does, of course, have LiPo 4 cells. It has a handle. It can be fully charged in under an hour and a half charge time. Now with this, you do have one AC outlet. That AC outlet's going to do, of course, 300 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at 600 for you. That's actually a really good charge rate, of course, with this and amount of stuff. Now, with that being said, you're going to have multiple USB-C ports. You have the 100-watt port, and you have, of course, that, I believe, 15-watt port as well. The 100-watt port is an in and out port with this. Now, on top, you also have that USB-A port. Now, the USB-A port is a 15-watt port as well. You do have that flashlight on the 300 plus, of course, and you have that handle. Now, this is going to take an hour and a half to charge this. Now, just like the original 300, you guys could run, of course, a Nintendo Switch for about 40 hours, or your flat screen TV for a couple hours, or even a mini cooler with it. Now, the station by itself is about $298. That's a great price point for the station of its own right. But definitely pair it up with, of course, the solar panel. Now that's where it's going to really kick in for you. Now this, of course, is that beautiful solar panel kit. $399 price tag has a $100 clippable coupon. You can get the 300 plus and that mini 40. This is the go-to package. I'm going to tell you guys, if you want to get acclimated to these systems, go with the smaller one. Try it out. See if you like it. I'm going to tell you, once you start using the smaller ones, you're going to be like, I need that bigger one. And that's where I was at with this. Really, really capable. Justin, if you are watching and you're seeing it, we are definitely having some issues. I see you replied to my comment, but I can't read it. So, guys, great kit, great points right here. If you need this kit, this is the perfect traveling, camping, all-around kit with that mini 40 panel. $100 savings. It's going to bring you down to $299. You can't go wrong with this kit. 300 plus. We're going to move that mini 40 down because we're going to move into, of course, the 600 plus range. Dude, let me check here. So we're going to move into the 600 plus power station, guys. 600 plus power station is actually a really great station. Now, what I've also noticed in the app is it didn't switch over to the camera like it should have. Didn't click it. It finally clicked it. So if you guys saw that last segment in the little smaller camera, I do apologize. That was technically, I don't know why that one did that. What it did, it didn't switch over. So we're going to talk about the 600 plus, guys. Now, going to go into some of the cabling. We're going to talk about the cables for the 600 plus. We're going to talk about the price points. We're going to get into the 600 plus because it's actually a very, very amazing newer station that they just came out with. Now, I'm going to make sure and check to see if they have it in stock. If not, we're still going to talk about it. I know the stock's going to come back for this one, so I'm not really too worried with that. So this is just a really cool product. Now, the 600 Plus is a beautiful new product. It actually has Charge Shield 2.0. Now, if we come over here, we can actually drop down to the 600 Plus. 600 Plus is right there in the middle, of course, on that table. Now, when we zoom in, that is, of course, the 600 Plus. Now, this is going to have 632 watt hours of power for you on hand. Now, with that, of course, I believe we're going to go into this. Definitely seeing some stuttering on the show now. 632 watt hours of power has, of course, multiple AC outlets. Those AC outlets are going to do 800 watts of pure sine wave power for you. Now, you can also do 1600 watts max if you need to through those two AC outlets. Now, with this, you have two USB-C ports. One's a 100 watt in and out port. The other is a 30 watt port on top of it. Now, below it will be the 18 watt port like the 1000 V2. Jackson, hello, how are you doing? How are you doing? Now, with it, of course, it has the flashlight on the front. It has Charge Shield 2.0. Charge Shield 2.0 means you have a 1 hour charge rate with that. What's up, Wiley? How are you doing, buddy? Now, on a full charge, you guys are going to be able to run multiple devices with this because you do have enough power to actually do that. Now, where it's really at is actually in the full kit with, of course, the solar panel. Now, the 600 Plus comes with, of course, a new solar panel that they are now offering. And this, of course, is that 100 watt solar panel that is a bifacial, bi-directional charging style solar panel. The stock of this system will be back this weekend, so do put it in your cart, guys. These sales are going to last a few more days, so don't worry about it. Do put it in your cart. Now, this is that beautiful panel. This panel is actually going to take the 8020 plug. Now, when you plug it into, of course, this cabling, which is going to be this cable right here, you're going to plug this in, and you're going to use the 8020 plug, and then you're going to use the 8020 plug to the USB-C if you want to, or you're going to use the 8020 into, of course, the actual station. Now, the station, I'm going to flip it around so you guys can just see the plug on the side, and we'll bounce back over down there. That is where you're going to go into, of course, the 8020 plug. Now, the 8020 plug is going to allow you to, of course, connect into just like this. There you go. That's it. That's all it takes to put the 8020 plug in there. You connect the other side up to the solar panel, and you're up and charging at 100 watts at 18 volts. That's that easy, that simple. It's so simple that anybody can do it, even your children. Now, do I say let your children do it? Yeah, that's up to you. You're your parents. Of course, if you want to use the USB-C port on the front, guys, use the adapter, connect it up that way, and you guys can charge it that way as well. For the other devices, unlike the 600 Plus, the smaller ones, it's going to use the 9020 or the 7020 plug. Let me correct my speaking today. That's right, the 7909 plug. The 8020 is what we're using right now. The 7909 is, of course, the other plug. A lot of numbers sometimes, and I misspeak. It happens, guys. So you have the plugs. Now, I can read through the list if you guys want to. The 600 Plus, the 700 Plus, and, of course, the 1000 V2, the 1500 Pro, and on up are going to use the 8020 plugs. For the stations like, let's say, the 100 plus, the 240, 300s, all the way up to the 500, and I believe the original E1000 is going to use the Anderson clip or the 7909 plug. So you do have a variation of that. Most of your solar panels are going to have the adapter kit that's going to come with the 7090 and, of course, the 8020. So you don't have to worry about that. Amazing piece, guys. Definitely check it out. You won't go wrong with that. It's a really beautiful station. And like I said, it will be back in stock this weekend, so you can put it in your cart. It will notify you when it's back in stock, and then, of course, you guys can purchase it. Cool thing is I believe even this code that you guys want, if you guys use it, can still be there for that. It should last a few more days, so you guys are going to be good. Now we're going to go into the 1000 plus station. We're going to talk modular. We're going to go into, of course, the bigger, badder, and, of course, modular systems. Now, we're going into the 1000 plus system. Now, you're probably wondering which one's the 1000 plus. Now, I'm like, yeah, we're going to talk about that one right there. That is the 1000 plus, 1264 watt hours of premium power. Now, 1264 watt hours of power in a power station that's going to do 200 watts of pure sine wave power through those 3 AC outlets. That means you guys can plug a window AC and run it off of this. Now, the cool part is under 2-hour charge time. And I love that 2-hour charge time with this. Now, it's a little under 2 hours on this one. Now, $999 by itself, $150 clippable coupon for of course, the 100 plus station. Now, the really cool part is with this is because it's going to last about 10 years for 4,000 charge cycles at 100% battery. After that, it'll be about 75 to 80% battery life of charge cycle with this. Now, this one actually has the UL10 certification of the actual drop protection and flame retardant shell. Now, with it though, if you really want to, you can plug it into the USB-C port, charge it that way. You guys could use, of course, the car charger, like your cigarette lighter charger. It's going to take about 7 hours in a car. With it, you do have dual USB-C ports, 100-watt ports. You also have dual USB-A ports at 18 watts ports. Also has that flashlight and the 12-volt 10-amp plug. Station by itself, like I said, is already 17% off, so it's like $9.99. There's a $150 clippable coupon, save you a few more bucks. With this, though, you're going to be able to run a window AC for over an hour. That's like 1150 watt window AC. You can do your 520 watt refrigerator for about 2 hours with this as well. The station by itself is 32 pounds. It's not too heavy, but it's definitely not light. Now, we also have the 100 plus and, of course, 2 100 watt solar panels for about $1,500, but there's a $300 clippable coupon with that. So if you guys want, get it for, of course, a cheaper price with that. Now, since it is over $1,000, also use that 5% code to get it and, of course, the solar panels. But where it's really at is the full station. Now, right above it is the battery pack. Now, we have the full kit in here. This is what's called the 100 plus solar generator kit. You're going to get the 100 plus E battery. You're going to get the 100 plus station and 2 of the 100 watt solar panels. This is like a $2,099 price tag. There's a $210 clippable coupon. Plus, again, that 5% code you guys can use to get an extra 5% off. Now, with this, of course, 2,528 watt hours of power. That means you just doubled your power with the single battery. The cool part about the 100 plus is you can actually add multiple batteries to this kit. So you can actually have 3 batteries total to have over 5 kilowatts of hour power. That's a lot of power. That's a good amount of power that's going to allow you to run a lot of stuff for a good amount of time. It's a beautiful station. It still works with, of course, the app. So you can and will be able to use the app. That's one thing we haven't shown live. So let's pull up the app. The app is iOS and Android based. You're just going to pop it up. It's going to come over here and it's going to be able to connect up to multiple stations. Now, I do have the 700 Plus and I have the 3000 Pro connected. Now, the 700 Plus has actually been discontinued, I believe, so you don't have to worry about that, but really cool station. Now, with this, of course, you guys can see the battery charge rate. You can see, of course, right there, the actual battery temperature. Now with it, you'll be able to turn on those switches and off those switches as well with that. Now I can hit that switch. It's going to shut off the RGB lighting behind us. If I hit it again, it's going to come back on. It's going to take about 20 milliseconds or less with this. Really cool little piece right there, and I actually like that. Now, we do have some slowed service, so it looks like my show is a little bit behind me, but hey, we'll get there, we'll get there. Really cool piece. So the app works fundamentally very, very well. It's going to allow you to connect up to a lot of different systems for you with that, of course, on hand. Now, I'm going to bounce back over here to this because we're going to talk about a few more things about the 100 Plus kit. The kit's going to come with the battery. It's going to come with, of course, the station. It's going to come with the 2 solar panels. It's going to come with the linking cable. The cable is going to link, of course, the battery to, of course, the station with that as well. So you're going to have, of course, that linking cable that's going to do fundamentally what you need where you need it. Now remember, $210 coupon, so you can save yourself some bucks, plus use that 5% code. I'm going to take a sip of water real quick, guys. And I'm going to spill it all over myself. You guys didn't see that, right? It has ice in it, so the ice blocked the lid. That's pretty funny. All right. Now, we're going to get into their largest standalone system. Now, this is not a standalone system. This is a modular system. This is like the 3000 Pro. It's the 2000 Plus. Now, the 2000 Plus system is right there. It's actually running some lights for the show. That, of course, is the 2000 Plus, and above it is the battery. Now, the 2000 Plus is 2042 watt hours of power. Now, it is a LiFePO cell. It is, of course, a LiFePO 4 cell. Now, with this, it does work with the app. You're going to have 2042 watt hours of power, which means you guys can actually run a bunch of stuff, like your window AC for a couple hours. It has a 2-hour charge cycle. It's going to take 2 hours on a wall plug to actually charge this. Now, with this, it's normally like a $2,200 price tag. It's like $15.99 tonight, which is a great deal. Now, with it, though, you guys can run a window AC for over 2 hours if you wanted to. With that, of course, 2-hour charge cycle on a wall plug, 25 hours in your car, or six solar panels at 2 hours of charge rate. Now, you can run, of course, your 5,800 watt welding machine, your Tigger MIG welder, for about a half an hour. You guys could run, of course, your CPAP machine for about 150 hours. 200 watt desktop PC, 12 hours of runtime. The 520 watt refrigerator really is going to determine if you guys have a true 520 watt refrigerator. So you're going to picture about maybe 4 hours with that, of course, on hand. Projectors over 14 hours. Hair dryers about an hour. That's 1,600 watts draw of an air dryer. Most of you are not going to use a hair dryer that long, though. Now, with it, though, we also offer the station and 2 solar panels at a 25% savings tonight. So you're going to get it and 2 of their largest solar panels, the Solar Saga 200 panels, for I think it's like $3,099 plus that 5% code you guys can use. That's a great price point. But I'm going to tell you guys, get the kit. Get the 4000 kit. Now, the 4000 kit is going to be the Jackery Explorer 2000 Plus, the Jackery Explorer Pack Plus E2000, which is the battery sitting right above it, and 2 solar panels. This is normally a $5,000 price tag. It's $4,399, but there's also a $900 clippable code. Use that clippable code, save some money, and you're good to go with that, all right? So get yourself that $900 clippable coupon, save some money, and use that 5% off as well. Now, with that, that means you just doubled your runtime with that battery, though, all the way up to 4,085 watt hours of power. The cool part about this system is because the 2000 Plus is so modular, they actually have capability of running 5 batteries. When you add that 5 batteries, it's 12 kilowatts of hour power with that full system. That means you guys could run your homestead, your house, your cabin, your wood shop, your metal shop in the times of need, or just off the grid style living. That's amazing. But what's even better is though, why is it? So what's even better is you guys, you can actually parallel two of these power stations together. When you parallel the two stations together, you're going to be able to, of course, uh, then connect up to 10 batteries. So when you can actually do it, you can actually do that and have 10 batteries at 24 kilowatts of hour power, which is a beautiful, beautiful amount of time. I love that you can actually do that. It's just an amazing little piece to be able to have that much connectability and the chargeability with this. Now, still, 64 pounds of weight is what it's going to weigh, but you guys can actually get the battery at about $13.99. So if you guys want the station, we also have the battery on there as well. The battery is going to cost you guys $13.99, but there is a $400 clippable coupon for that battery as well. So you're going to get it for under $1,000 for an extra battery to go on with that station. Definitely worth doing. So any questions about the stations at all, please ask. We are definitely here to answer. Now, we are definitely moving into, of course, solar panels. We have 4 of these panels to show you. We've kind of showed you guys the Mini 40 a little bit. We didn't talk a lot about it, but we are gonna. This is the Mini 40. Now, the Mini 40 solar panel is a 40-watt solar panel that is fully waterproof, water resistant, and has an IP68 rating. Now, this is compatible with the 100 plus all the way up to, I believe, like the 500 station if you really wanted to. Now, with it, it is, of course, fully waterproof, so it can actually be used out in the rain without a problem. It is a trifold design, but it has a quad panel. So you have quad panels, so these 4 panels, that's going to actually grab about 23% efficiency in grabbing that light for you. Now, with this is actually, I think, like a $99 price tag tonight for the panel by itself, which is a great price point if you're looking for a panel of this magnitude. It is only 12 inches tall, 10 inches wide, half-inch thick. This is literally the size of a 3-ring binder. That 3-ring binder means you guys can put it in your backpack and not have to worry about it. Very waterproof, water resistant, can be, of course, very travelable. And I like that you can take this pretty much anywhere. So if you guys need, the Mini 40 is a great option. Now, we also have 2 variations of the 100. We're going to start off this with, of course, the 100 Solar Saga. Now, the 100-watt Solar Saga solar panel is a bifold style panel. Now, this panel is like normally $299, but there's a $60 clippable coupon. This is, of course, that panel. Right here, you do have, of course, this kickstand that's actually very cool and clippable. You're also going to have the zipped up pouch. Now, this pouch is actually where you're going to find your cables. Inside here, you're going to find, of course, a 9.5-foot cable with the 80-20 and 70-90 plug. So the 80-20 is, of course, on the top. The 70-90 is in the bottom. And it is a 9-foot cable. It actually has a labeling to tell you guys which one is which. Also on this 100 panel, you're going to have a USB-C port and a USB-A port that you can plug your phone straight into right there. Now, with that, of course, when you close it, you're going to be greeted with the ETFE laminated handle and magnets that's going to hold it open and close. Now, here, of course, is your dual panel. It's a wide panel. This panel is a beautiful panel. It's going to actually grab 23% efficiency in converting light to power for you at 100 watts at 18 volts. This is still fully waterproof, water resistant, can work with the 100 plus all the way up to the 1500 power station. So if you guys need, a very great option for you with that one. Now remember, they also have that newer variation out there as well, this 100 watt style panel too. Now, with that being said, we're going to talk about a modular piece, and this is going to be the 100 Prime. All right. The 100 Prime, when you get the 100 watt Prime package, you're going to get, of course, an Anderson clip like this. This Anderson clip is going to allow you to do, of course, dual panels. You're going to get mounting hardware. Inside this mounting hardware kit is going to come with all of the nuts, bolts, self-tapping screws. It's a sheet metal self-tapping screws, and, of course, 4 brackets. This is going to allow you to, of course, mount it to your minivans, your RVs, your houses, whatever you want. So you're going to get 4 brackets, self-tapping screws with, of course, water gaskets, and then your nuts and bolts with this kit. Now, the Prime panel. This is a cool panel. It's their new panel. This panel is a one-piece panel and still IP68 rating. So let's go here and let's do this and let's grab this because I want to show you guys this. Now, $299 price tag. It's actually got a $30 coupon. This is what's called a bifacial DIY solar panel. Now, the solar panel is a nice large panel, but it is a one-piece panel. Now, this, of course, is that panel, and I'm going to set it down for a second because it does have cabling built on. This cabling's actually got your DC plug on the end, but it's also got, of course, the Anderson clip. The Anderson clip will come off, and that means you guys can actually use that Anderson dual plug to set up multiple solar panels if you guys need to. So you guys can actually set up multiple solar panels and connect it with that if you need to. If you don't, plug it in and use, of course, the DC plug. Now, that's actually kind of cool. Fully metal framed all the way around, so you have the metal frame. It's a bifacial, so you can actually charge from both sides. The bottom side is, of course, blue. Flip it over, and you're going to have, of course, the black side, or the black side. Now, IP68 water rating, harsh and wet weather. Where it's really cool is this actually will do 25% efficiency in converting light to power because it is more of a glass style. It is, of course, a fixed style, and it's going to actually do better of that. So if you guys need, the 100 Prime is an amazing solar panel out there for you. All right, I think we have one more to show you. All right, now we're going to show you guys the 200-watt solar panel on top of that, all right? Let me move this aside so I can actually see what I'm doing. We are. I'll let the stream catch up, maybe. How about that? Alan. How you doing, buddy? Walrick, how you doing? All right, guys. We're going to talk about the 200-watt Solar Saga solar panel. Now, the 200-watt panel, of course, is a fully IP68 rating. This is actually a quad panel. It's got quad panels, trifold design. It's got 3 kickstands. It can actually be set up in under 30 seconds without a problem. This is fully compatible with the 1000 V2 and, of course, your 1500 Pro, your 2000 Pro, what's going to be the new 2000 V2, also the 2000 Plus, 3000 Pro, and so on and so on. This is actually a really cool piece. Now, this device does weigh over 21 pounds. So do know it does weigh a little bit in this system. Now, this will actually do 24.3% efficiency in converting light to power. It is, of course, the bifacial style. It does have a 9.5-foot cable. It does have the 80/20 plug and the 70/90 plug on it for you. It's also going to, of course, come in with that very cool carrying case. Now, you're going to see me connected up to, of course, the 3000 Pro system. It's going to take about 10 seconds for it to recognize it being plugged in. The moment it's plugged in, I'm going to grab my camera. The moment I grab my camera and I hit that screen, it's already doing 153 watts of charge rate, which is actually very amazing with, you know, that blue sky that's out there, but the big building that's actually blocking a lot of it. I do live in front of I live at a big building. The building is blocking a lot, but you know, you're still getting, of course, light. If you have a nice wide open area, you're going to probably get a lot more charge rate than I was. Now, if you leave it, of course, recording longer than I did, you'll probably see the full 200 watts as well. Beautiful, beautiful solar panel. Now, the solar panel is like normally $700, so amazing piece. If you guys are looking for a panel, that is a great option for you. Now, we showed you guys pretty much every system that we have on hand right here. We also showed you guys all these beautiful solar panels. Now, remember, guys, if you spend over, of course, $1,000 today, use that 5% code down there as well and save yourself 5% off. Now, always remember to check the Amazon pages, and if you guys don't want, you guys can always, of course, save your items in, of course, your cart and check out later. Now, with that, guys, I want to thank everybody for being here. I've had a lot of fun tonight. Of course, we're going to be back. I believe I'm back here Sunday night with another stream. Now, hopefully, Sunday night, I will have all of my technical issues solved. I'm not sure what's going on with the app. I'm going to see if there's an update or something with that and all of the other cool stuff. So, any questions before we go, please ask. We are definitely here to answer. Don't see any questions. All right, guys, I want to thank everybody for being here. I've had a lot of fun, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. We will see you guys on the next show. Later, everybody. Alexa, all lights off.